All right, so here is what I am watching for next week. Next week's the first week of July, I believe. Monday, June 30th, and Tuesday, July 1st. So here's what I'm watching. My focus list. First up, I have UMAC. This thing made a 111% move up. Reclaimed the 200 on this move up. Tightening up right on that 20 moving average. Try to maybe go higher here. Came back down. Volume on the selling is pretty low and natural. And then you have this little shakeout day right here. I tried to buy it. Got stopped out for like 0.25% loss. And then, loses the 20, reclaims, inside candle. Doesn't take out that high, inside candle on the 20, wicks below it, low volume. And so if it takes out this 809 area, I'll try some, maybe like 0.25% risk. I haven't been trading that well, so I am sizing down right now. And but I think this is a really good setup. I'd say this is a 5-star setup with my criteria. Clean little flag here. Higher lows, lower highs. Looks good. Take a peek at the weekly. The weekly, super tight, thin candle right here. Pretty much bounced off the 5 moving average. So we'll see what happens with this. HSAI. Really clean as well. So I was looking at it this day, and the risk reward really wasn't there because the ADR was like 7% or something, and the stop loss was like, it was like 7%. Now the ADR, it was like a 9% stop loss, and the ADR was about, the ADR was less than the stop loss, so it didn't make sense for a risk reward. And the stay was like minus 6.79%, so it was pretty wide, but made a big move up, big volume. And then next day gaps down, tests these lows, tests this 20 moving average, but then comes back up, closes only down 4.76%. Pretty clean level. It's high of the inside candle is what I'm looking at here. If you go to the weekly chart, it's kind of trying to break out. You see big volume after it, close under this 10, and now maybe if it can get back above. You go above this week, this inside candle, then you take out this HVC level, and you have clear skies maybe to like 30, 35, somewhere around there. It's also linear. We've seen other linear stocks going, particularly this laser, I believe it is. It's like a linear theme. Fiber lasers for aerospace and defense. I don't know. There's some like linear names running. So, and this is also kind of China as well. And Futu looks good. Tiger has been getting a bid. So we'll see about this. But I'll take this again. Same size, 0.25%, 0.5%. Need to get some traction before I go up to 0.5%. Get my confidence back because I took pretty big loss on Friday on my account, and pretty avoidable, but didn't do it, so it is what it is. Next up, PRCH. I mean, you can kind of see like the setup, right? It's like pretty much the exact same setup, So you have this big move up. I traded it this earnings day, bought it like low 8 and sold it pretty much up here. Retried the breakout right here, got stopped out for a loss. That video is on my channel. But then we have this pullback to the 20, lost it, reclaimed, tested it, and then made this like 25% move up back to the highs of this range. Pulled back again to the 20 moving average, thin candle, broke out of that, and then big up day, almost test this high, and then, big volume, and then Next day, inside candle, negative 1%. So it's like really tight at the top end of the range. It's like flag setup, you know. And the weekly looks good. If you look at the weekly, it just broke out of this inside candle high. Basically just came off the 10 moving average. And, you know, I mean, it's a clear level, in my opinion. And I think I would be willing to take the risk on this if it does go. Get a tight stop. You know, it looks pretty good. The monthly looks ready to rip. It did have bigger sell volume. I think this was rebalancing though. If we look at it, yeah, you can tell. I mean, just yeah, the biggest volumes at the end of the day. So rebalancing that came on Friday. So I'd be interested in taking this as well. Lots of like small cap names looking ready to run. And again, this has momentum, so I like it. All right, INOD, you know, negative 6%, maybe a little bit wider than I'd like. Again, bigger volume, but that's mainly because of the rebalancing. However, you know, I think I would categorize this as momentum. You know, right here off this low right here, made a nice clean 50% move up, pulled back, lost a 20, reclaimed, and then kind of chopping around right here. And then Thursday actually tried to break out and push through this level, but which was the weekly inside high, but came gap back down, inside candle, pretty much right off the 10. And I think if it took out this high right here, I would definitely try it again. It looks pretty good. And actually look at this, like coincides with the left side peak over here. So it looks like a pretty clear level to me. And I would try some of this as well. You know, if I tried all four of these at 0.25% risk, that's like 1% risk in my account total. Yeah. LMND. So also kind of nice momentum move up right here. You know, made 52% move up off of these lows. Kind of trended pretty well. Came back down, some pretty big volume. Got bought right back up. Came back down, and then it formed an inside candle right here. You know, right on this 10 moving average, kind of close to the 20. Maybe like something like 8 EVA, you know, how it went, you know, big move up, pulled back, inside candle right on this 10, and then just bam, grinded higher. Something like that, maybe, we'll see. But I think I would maybe try it. It doesn't look terrible. And yeah, you know, maybe you got to move up to this previous high 52, and then you base out more and for a bigger breakout. But it looks decent in my opinion, so maybe I'll give it a shot. LEU, same concept. You know, huge move up, nice and linear, clean, just rides these moving averages, pulls back, wicks off this 20, inside candle. Maybe feels a little wide, but you know, I think it looks pretty good. You just had the first test of the 5 moving average on the weekly. If we go to the weekly, you tested this 5, and you know, a lot of stocks get bought up off of that level. You know, if you look at the daily, you know, comes to the 5 and then just gets bought up. Maybe we can see the same thing happen, and I'll maybe try some above, you know, like 180, this inside day high. We've seen, you know, other nuclear stocks don't look bad. Oklo's kind of basing, NNE basing at this 20, SMR basing at this level right here. So they all look pretty good still, and yeah, I'd be willing to try it. NBIS, I actually took this Friday, pretty stupidly, to be frank. The candle was plus 8%, so too wide for my system. Broke my system anyways and traded it. Once it took out the high, got stopped out. But if you look at it, the volume's just decreasing. Nice IPO, higher lows, lower highs. Pretty clean stock. If you go to the weekly chart, it took out that weekly high. So over this level right here, this like pennant break, I would try some again. And yeah, I think it's worth it. You know, you can get maybe a move to 70, you know, 60, 70 super liquid 880R, like almost $700 million volume. Looks pretty good, I think. ONDS, also pretty clean. You know, I was looking at the inside week high, which it did take out on Friday, but I kind of wanted it to maybe tighten up a little bit more. And so it is tightening up. Maybe above this level, I would try it. It didn't really hit my alert. It got super close to it, but just missed it barely. Above 191, maybe I would give it a small shot. Ideally, maybe an inside candle or like just a little bit more tightening right here, and then it could go. But again, you have the same concept, right? You have the 140% move up, pull back, lost the 20, reclaimed, and now it's just going sideways. And you know, looks like a pretty clean level. ACHR, I tried this Friday as well. You had a clean momentum move up here. This kind of looks okay as well. Not the best, not the worst. You know, 35% move up in, you know, 3, 4, 5 days. Tried to tighten. Took it out on the inside day high, but honestly, like, this isn't like super tight. But if you look at it here, like, now you're really getting some tightening. Not really sure how I feel about this one. It looks pretty decent, I guess. Ideally, you know, you get to move up and then sideways, and then you can break out. But I think JOBY is the leader in this anyways. Like, if you look at ACHR, you know, Joby's at these previous highs, right? And this is acting much better than Joby. ACHR down 1%, Joby's down 0.4%. Nice green volume, like very clean stock on JOBY. So if JOBY maybe tightened up just like a couple more days, I'd much rather trade this one than ACHR. And I think JOBY is a little bit faster. Yeah, just 6.87%. This one is 6.69. So yeah, JOBY is just a little bit faster too, and feel like it's kind of held up better and looks a lot better. You know, May 16th. What was JOBY doing on May 16th? May 16th, yeah. But this thing, like the past, like more recently, it looks better. It's been acting better. So, but nonetheless, watching ACHR maybe for a break above this thin candle days high. I probably wouldn't take it here, but maybe if it, you know, came up and then gave out like a small 5 day setup, I would try it then. But overall, I do like the chart and it looks pretty good. HUT, not a big fan, kind of a lagging miner. It looks okay, I guess. I saw a couple other people talking about this. You know, you have a pretty clear level right here. High of the inside day. This HVC previous, like, it's pretty clean level. But like, it's kind of like a laggy miner. If you go and look at something like iron, which I traded, I bought iron this day out of the inside day gap up, ended up coming back down, shaking me out. Thin candle, which you could have bought the gap up. I didn't buy the gap up, and you know, now this thing's up, you know, 30% in like 4 days, and it was like a super tight stop. So pretty annoying, but you know, like, my point is, HUT's not one of the leading miners. Like, iron is probably the leading miner, and but nonetheless, it does look decent, clean level. So maybe I'd try it, and the momentum kind of has some momentum lately. Made a 30% move up in, you know, 3, 4, 5, 6 days, so not terrible. The VTS, I kind of just want to watch these. I'm not really sure how to feel about them. Let me know what you guys think. This is kind of like what I'm looking at with this. Like, you have a higher lows, pull into a 20, the volume's dead, and so maybe if it like took out that high, broke this trend line, you could get a move back up. but at the same time, it's not the cleanest thing in the world, I don't think. But it looks okay. I just want to watch it and see how it acts. Maybe build some confidence. At least I saw it if it does break out. But I probably wouldn't trade this. SRM, same story here. Like if you look at the volume is dead, right? Super low volume. Flag feels pretty clean. Higher lows, lower highs. Right on this 10 moving average, pretty tight. Ideally, it would go more sideways. This does have an inside week, so it has that going for it. Overall, it's a pretty good name. Solid name. What does this company do? Manufacturing, sales, toys, souvenirs, plushies, theme parks, other entertainment. So, I don't know. Kind of a random, like, I don't know what theme that is, but it looks decent. So, I just want to watch both of those. At least, maybe I would trade this one, like, super small size, but if I saw it break out, at least I knew it was on watch, and I, spotted the setup. Positions wise, I am holding my CRDO. I've trimmed a bit on this coin. I have not trimmed any on this. I still have my full position from down here. This is my biggest winner currently. SOXL, I've trimmed on this, and this is my second biggest winner. And then RDW, I bought it this day. My stop is the low of this day. Probably stops me out at this point. But another inside day, so if it breaks this low now, then for sure I'll get out. But it doesn't look bad. And you had Rocket Lab. It's in the space theme. Rocket Lab's been running, so I figured I'd try it this day. But no real follow through yet. So we'll see what happens with that. SOXL, I wasn't even supposed to trim this. Well, actually, yes, I could have. Because did it close below 20? No, it didn't. It closed below the 65-minute 20. But not the hourly. Interesting. So I probably shouldn't have sold this. But I did trim a little bit. I took a bunch of trades on Friday that I let come back on me. And so definitely an emotional day for me because I took a pretty big loss and messed up a bunch and traded a bunch of stuff I shouldn't have traded and gave back a lot of gains that I had been making for the past 2 weeks. Gave all of the gains back that I've been making for the past 2 weeks. So confidence kind of shot from that. Trying to play it small, play it slow, be smart, don't be an idiot. Don't like tear yourself up into a drawdown. I still see setups, definitely have some self-doubt, like are these setups? I feel like they're setups. My brain says they're setups, but maybe just because my confidence is low. That question, double thinking myself. So gonna play it small, gonna be smart, let the market pull me in. And not try to be a hero and do anything stupid or dig myself into a fat drawdown. I don't want to be trading big size when I'm not trading my best anyways after you just gave back a bunch of gains. It's not very smart. Indexes, the IWM rejected off this 200 day on volume, closed below it. Maybe we can get above it Monday. I wouldn't be shocked to see us push higher. But we'll see what happens. MDY did close above the 200 day, reclaimed it Thursday, pushed above it, and looks pretty good. QQQ running up, volume increase, continues to grind higher. Probably should not have trimmed my SOXL, but I did. So it is what it is now. Bitcoin looks really good. The weekly, you have inside week this week, it looks like, as long as it doesn't take out this level by tomorrow. Clean cup and handle, it feels like. The daily, ideally you'd go more sideways, but I'm not really sure if that's going to be the case. I think once it breaks through this level, it's going to have clear skies for new highs. So that is what I'm watching, what I'm looking for. And again, trading small, not trying to be a hero, trying to just keep my drawdown in check, not be an idiot, and stay in the game, because obviously that's the most important part. So that's what I'm watching. Hope you guys enjoy this. Give me some feedback. Let me know in the comments what you think, what you're watching, and appreciate it. Thanks for watching.